Welcome back everyone to Mona's Take. I am your host Mona Rose, and we are here to talk about everything reality TV. On today's video, we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey episode recap and a few things that have come out in the press. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything I have coming up. People are acting on a whole nother level on that. Can't wait to see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You gotta give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. So when the episode opened up, we saw Theresa and the girls moving out of the girls' childhood home. That's got to be devastating to them, scary, exciting maybe, a little bit of everything mixed in. Theresa tells Theresa says if she's happy, then the kids will be happy, that they'll feed off of her energy, so she's trying not to give bad energy moving out of the house and starting the new chapter of their life. And I have to say, with everything going on with Louis and all of the red flags and all that aside, what he did for Theresa in the backyard with the saying from her mom and dad, that was beautiful. I have to give the guy credit. If that were me, it would have melted my heart. That was pretty awesome. The girls, when they're getting ready to move, you can see that none of them are too thrilled about it. But they get to the new house and they get to see the rooms. They're taking them in one by one, showing them the rooms. And I think that made them more excited. They're like, okay, maybe this is not going to be too bad. And now Louis' son is living with him, one of his sons. The man was very polite, I have to say, that whoever raised him, whether it be his mother or Louis, they did a good job, maybe the both of them together, because he was very respectful. I was kind of happy to see that, because a lot of times kids are a reflection of the parents and how they've been brought up. Not always, but most of the time you can see the parental guidance as they're getting to be young teenagers, young adults. So we'll see where that leads. So then we have Frank moving back in. Now, I didn't realize that Frank had never lived in the house with the kids really growing up. When they divorced, Dolores got the house, and so she raised the kids there by herself. So them living with their dad and as adults should be pretty entertaining. We see him going to his room, which I know up north, I lived up north, all the rooms are smaller than what we have down south. They build up because they don't have a lot of room to build out. So I'm thinking New Jersey's the same way, because Frank's room was small. And that chinchilla, what was Gabrielle thinking? I'm sorry, it won't fit in your room, so you're going to put it in Dad's room? There's a living room. There's a dining room. I know there's several different gathering rooms. Anywhere she could have put that thing other than Frank's room. But he laughed it off. They made a couple of jokes that referred to, I think Gabrielle said that he should feel right at home because it squeaks like his girlfriend's. And then he said something about using the chinchilla for a private part warmer. I was like, that's just, to me, that's odd to talk to your kids that way. Even if they are adult, grown kids, it's just a line that I would never cross. So everybody's getting ready to go to Nashville, and they're all sharing one house. This should be rather interesting. Theresa's already going in locked and loaded. She's already looking for a fight as she's packing before they ever leave. They show a little snippet of Joe and Melissa's daughter's 15th birthday. And I really wish we could have seen more of that. You know, with Theresa's girls growing up, every time she has anything for the girls, it's part of the show. So I don't know. I felt kind of slighted for her that she didn't get more than just a blurb about a birthday party. So they get to Nashville, and Theresa asked Jackie about the last time they were together. She felt like she kind of wasn't talking to her, and did she have a problem with her or whatever. And Jackie's like, no. She's like, but, you know, you put me kind of in a bad spot because Margaret is my best friend and you two are fighting. So it kind of puts me in a bad way. And Theresa goes into telling her this story again about Margaret being the source of all these blogs, all these news reports that are coming out, all these lawsuits that are coming out. That Margaret's the cause of it all. That she's the one that's leaking everything. That she may be even talking to the ex-girlfriends and getting them riled up and getting them to come forward. To me, this is the most delusional thing that I've ever seen. Theresa's usually pretty out there with her ideals, but once she gets something into her head, she believes it. I try a lot of times to think she's not as gullible as what she portrays. But she really is, I think, a lot of the time. And she gets in her head and she believes her own crap. And Jackie's like, no way, Theresa, come on now. That's just crazy talk. So Jackie ends that conversation and they all go downstairs. Well, Theresa automatically says, well, I think I should get the master bedroom. Louie and I should get the master bedroom. And everybody's like, why? Whoa. What makes you think that you get the master bedroom? Because as far as I know, it was either Dolores or Jackie won. I think maybe Dolores has set this up. Because Dolores says, look, I've already told Theresa that she could have the master bedroom because, you know, they're the lovebirds, they're the newest relationship, They need the privacy. Which the other girls have a fit, but the guys are like, you know what, let's go outside and play ball, let's go outside and jump on the in-ground trampoline, let's go outside and just get away from this because these girls have lost their mind. So you see them out in the back, all the guys, just having a good time, throwing the ball around, jumping on an in-ground trampoline, which was pretty cool. I've never seen one of those. Pretty cool, sorry. My words are coming together. So I'd never seen one of those, so that was pretty neat. So they're all getting ready to go to dinner. And it's like a bar restaurant in Nashville. They have a mechanical bull, and you can tell when they're getting ready to go out who's going to ride this bull and who's not, because you know the ones that are in dresses are not going to. But Melissa rode it, Jackie rode it, and Theresa rode it. Well, then the guys decided they were going to make a wager. Whoever could stay on the longest. Which was pretty comical. Tiki Barber ended up staying on the longest for like 14 seconds or something like that. So he was the champion. He was the winner. The best comment coming out of season 12, in my opinion, was when they did the confessional. I still laugh about it thinking about it. When they did the confessional with Jennifer. She's talking about how athletic Tiki is and that she's not surprised that he won the bull riding competition, that she enjoyed riding him. As soon as she said those words out of her mouth, she said, whoa, no, I mean, I enjoyed watching him ride. No. So to me, that was priceless. It probably wouldn't have been as funny coming from anybody else but Jennifer, but to me, that just struck a chord, and I thought it was hilarious. So then they get through riding the bull, And they go upstairs and they get seated and they order drinks and dinner. And the guys are talking about a fishing trip the next day that they're going to take. And they promise Bill they're not going to get him as drunk as they did before. If y'all remember last time, Bill went on a boating trip with the guys. They carried him back in because he couldn't. He was so drunk out of it. And then somebody said, well, what are the girls going to do? And Melissa said, well, you know what? I thought since we were in Nashville, it would be cool if we went to a recording studio. And Theresa's like, no, I can't sing. And Melissa's like, but it'll be fun. It's just for fun. We're in Nashville. We'll go in. We'll make our own song. You know, we'll play around and whatever. And Margaret says, that sounds so much fun. I'll be your backup singer. To which Theresa flips on and says, I'm not going. I'm not going. And they all are like, okay, whatever. Well, somebody said something about the realtor that set this house up. I believe Dolores set it up, but Jackie knew her and Margaret knew her. And so when they saw each other, they're like, oh, hi, and I haven't seen you so long, whatever. So at dinner, somebody says something was so cool that you ended up knowing the realtor. Well, Theresa chimes right in. And like I said, she went in locked and loaded looking for a freaking fight before she ever got to Nashville. So she chimes in and says, well, of course Margaret knows everybody. Margaret talks to everybody. And they're all looking at Theresa like, what the hell? So Margaret says, all right, you want to talk? I would appreciate that you stop spreading rumors that I'm the reason for all these blogs and that I'm leaking information and that I'm doing that, because that's just crazy. I wouldn't do that. And Theresa said, of course you would. You talk to everybody. You talk to the bloggers. You talk to the reporters. You talk to anybody that'll listen. And yeah, you're the reason all this is coming up about Louis. Well, they're sitting across the table, kind of catty corner from each other. And Margaret calls her a disgusting liar. To which Theresa starts throwing glasses and silverware and whatever's on the table. She's just raking it all off at Margaret. Well, Tracy Barber is sitting to her left, so she's getting it. Joe is sitting to her right, so he's getting it. Just that whole side of the table is glasses and silverware and whatever else was on the table. Now, Margaret's wearing a white dress, so there is red wine all over her. They try to separate the two, and they're yelling at each other back and forth, and Theresa calls her a bitch and threatens to whip her ass and all of this, and Margaret's saying, you're acting crazy, and they're taking Theresa out of there. Louis and one of the security guards and Joe are taking Theresa out of there and keeping them apart. And Margaret yells out, well, it's a good thing you're not still on parole. To which that really lit a fire under Theresa's ass. And she starts calling her a effing C word. I'm not going to say it, but because I hate that word. But that's Theresa's go-to word. Whenever she's in a fight with one of the girls, that's what comes out every time. And to me, that's just the most vulgar thing you can call a woman. And then Theresa starts yelling, you better keep her out of my face. You better stay out of my face. I'm going to beat your ass, all of this. They take Theresa downstairs. She's still living. And she's, at one point, goes running back up the stairs to try to get to Margaret. And of course, security and the guys keep them apart, and they're just yelling back and forth and screaming at each other. And Theresa says, we're leaving. Well, Joe and Melissa are leaving with them. I can understand that. If they didn't, holy hell would break out. Well, then Jennifer and Bill decide they're going to leave with Theresa too. They came with Theresa, they're leaving with Theresa. Jennifer doesn't see any fault in Theresa. It's like she's got rose-colored glasses on when it comes to this woman. Nothing Theresa does is wrong. I don't get it. Any normal human being would see this behavior and think, what the hell? She came there looking for a fight. She started the fight. If she didn't want a fight, she shouldn't have started it. Because Margaret, unlike any of the other ladies on the cast, she's one not to back down. She's not going to back down. And so they get Theresa back down. Like I said, Joe and Melissa, Jennifer, and Bill are leaving with Theresa. Well, then Dolores says, we have to go with Theresa. And Margaret said, don't do it. What are you talking about, Dolores? Did you not just see what she did? She was acting like an animal. And you're going to leave with her? Why? And Dolores is like, well, I just feel like that we need to go with her. And Margaret's going, if you leave, I'm going to be upset. She's like, you're my best friend. And if you leave, I'm going to be upset. To which Frank steps in and says, Dolores, we're the host. We can't leave. Or he says, we're the host. And she said, what? And he said, we are the host. And she said, you're right. You're right. So they ended up staying and having dinner. I just don't understand why everybody chases Theresa. If I'd have been any of them, including her brother and sister-in-law, she started the fight. She wanted to leave. Go ahead and leave. I'm on vacation. I'm having a good time. You're not ruining my night. Well, Theresa rants and raves all the way home, back to the house. She's calling Margaret Wright trash. And all of them are like, Theresa, stop. No, she is white trash. And she goes on in the ride home. She gets home and she's screaming and she's hollering. And I mean, she just lost her freaking mind. And they get back and she's flipping out. And she's packing and she's saying, we're leaving. And Louie's like, what are you talking about? We're leaving. He's just like, we're leaving. We're going to a hotel. We're not staying here. So her little master bedroom that she got for the night is now empty because Dave left and went to a hotel. I don't understand how Theresa can keep getting away with this behavior. If it was anyone else, I think they would have already been gone. She was looking for a fight when she came in. She started the fight. Margaret stood up to her, which I think infuriated her even more. Because if you'll notice, every time Theresa has an altercation with anyone over the last 12 years, if they actually stand up to her and fight back, it makes her lose her mind even more. And you're like, what the hell? It shows, for the previews, it shows more drama next week. It shows, I think, everybody but Dolores and Theresa going, all the girls going to the recording studio. And Theresa and Dolores are out shopping or whatever. And Dolores is, Theresa is still going on and on and on and on and on about Margaret. At this point, Margaret doesn't have to say anything at all. She just has to be in the presence. There are more lawsuits that have come out about Louis. He's supposedly filed bankruptcy in several of his companies. He's being sued by 8 different people. 2 of them are exes. I just don't see how this is going to end well. But they have released that all of the cast members, including Tracy Barber and Tiki Barber, will be back next season. It's rumored that Joe Gorga storms off the stage at the reunion and over the whole fighting with Gia stuff and says it's not worth it. He's going to quit. And Andy Cohen ends up sending Theresa after him. So I'm sure that whatever happened Had to be between him and Theresa. But they have all signed. They're all coming back. And supposedly they're going to start shooting in June. But it's going to be another short season, which I don't like. Because by the time they shoot in June, if we don't get this until April, a lot of things go on between that time. I like to see them shoot, us get the show, and go on. But I'm not in production, so I guess I don't get a vote. But we'll see what this week brings. The reunion is coming closer and closer. I think it's going to be explosive. I think a lot of them have alluded to a lot more drama at the reunion. I guess somebody called Jennifer a C-word. I don't know. That's just what's rumored out there. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a good night. And as always, much love.